Welcome back to another IOCDF interview. I'm Amanda, the Communications Manager here at the IOCDF, and I'm so thrilled to be joined by Denise Egan Stack and Jessie Birnbaum. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Perfect. Well, do you mind just starting off by introducing yourself and sharing your connection to the OCD community?
Sure. I'm Denise Egan Stack, and I'm a member of the IOCDF Board of Directors and Scientific and Clinical Advisory Board. And I've also been treating people with OCD for about 20 plus years.
My name is Jessie Birnbaum. I'm currently a Master's of Social Work student at Boston University, and I lead the Chronic Illness Special Interest Group, and I'm one of the leaders for the Young Adult Special Interest Group at the IOCDF.
Perfect. Well, we're so lucky to have you both so involved. I'm really curious to know, how did you two meet?
So it's kind of a funny story. For the online conference, like two years ago, maybe, there's something called the Living Room Brigade, and it said under it, like, oh, if you want to talk to like a highly seasoned therapist, like, click here and sign up. And I was like, I want to do that. So I clicked and like looked at all the different options and was like kind of amazed to see like you could like have a Zoom with any of these people. And I'd seen Denise's work from Anxiety in the Classroom. And as I said, I'm a social work student, so I want to go into treating OCD and ideally with kids. So I was like, who better to talk to than Denise? So I clicked it and I was like so excited, and I like she emailed me the Zoom link and I was like, yay, so excited. And then later I learned that the Living Room Brigade is not for networking purposes, but it served a great purpose for me. And I ended up, we had the Zoom, and Denise basically convinced me and said I should move to Boston. And I said, there's no way I'm moving to Boston. It's freezing there because I'm from California. And she was like, if you move to Boston, I'll personally mentor you. And then I started looking at Boston schools, and it definitely influenced my decision.
Yeah. Amazing. And Jessie, you touched upon this, that Denise helped weigh your decision to come to Boston. How did your relationship kind of pick up from that initial meeting at the online conference?
Yeah, I mean, it was really exciting because like she had said, like, oh, I'll mentor you. And like, that was so cool. I immediately after the call, like ran into my parents' room and I was like, oh my God, you'll never guess. But then I was like, is she serious? So then I remember I emailed you after I was like, oh, I chose BU. And you're like, great. And then I was like, oh, she doesn't want to mentor me anymore. But then
I think I just said, like, let me know when you get to Boston and like, we'll get together.
Yeah.
And so we've been meeting ever since.
And then she had said for the second semester, she was like, yeah, let's start meeting weekly. And I was so excited.
That's incredible. Jessie, how has working with Denise helped you as you pursue becoming an OCD clinician?
I mean, it's helped immensely. I feel like I come into our meetings and I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do with clients because now I'm working with clients with OCD. And then after I talk to Denise, I have a much better idea of what I'm going to do with clients. And I feel like I actually have a structure of what to do, also what I can do in the future with my clients.
She's really not giving herself credit at all. I mean, she comes to these appointments really well prepared and with a very good idea of what to do. And then we just kind of hash it out together. But for someone so young, she's really doing very meaningful and competent and very good work. So it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so great to hear. Denise, how important is the role of mentorship in this field? And would you encourage other experts to take on mentees?
Yes. So I think the role of mentorship in this field is like incredibly important. I know for a fact that, I wouldn't be where I am today if people didn't take an interest in me and mentor me. And so it's just really, really important to me, just as an individual clinician, that I want to pay that forward. And it's been a real honor working with Jessie. But people in the field, clinicians in the field are always lamenting that there's not enough people and, we need more people. And I think that this is just like one way that we can, work on that is to take someone new. Like I said earlier, like Jessie is very dedicated. She's very competent. She's a doer. She's very special. And to be able to just help get her to where she wants to go, if I can be a small part of that, like that's such an honor.
She's been a very big part. Small is an understatement.
Well, it's an honor to do that. But I think we all really need to do that because it's not just about, helping people figure out where they want to go to grad school or what they want to specialize in, or helping them develop good clinical skills. It's really also about giving people confidence to navigate the ups and downs and the ins and the outs of clinical practice. And I feel like over the course of time, I've realized like we can keep people doing this if we can help them feel confident in the work that they're doing. So I feel like mentoring is a really important way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so important.
Yeah.
For both of you, what advice would you give to young women who are looking for a mentor, or looking to start a mentor relationship?
Well, I'll take it first.
Yeah, please.
So I think that one thing that really impressed me about Jessie is that she knew what she was looking for. And, she was very specific about what she wanted. And then I think she sort of like took a look at who was in her community and who really best fit that. And then she reached out to me, right? So understanding what it is you want, thinking about who you want to help you with that, and then actually reaching out. I mean, at that point, she was looking for help with grad school, but some people are looking for help with, whether or not they want to get into research or what they want to specialize in, or what kind of training opportunities that they want to take, or even just how to get their career from A to B. So figuring out what you want, figuring out who is in your network that might be able to help you, and then just kind of reaching out.
I would say something very similar about like kind of going for it, like making the jump. I think it can be scary. Like I was definitely scared to like reach out to someone like Denise. I was so excited. But I think that's what's so special about this community is that you can go to a conference and chat with someone like Denise. You can go, even like this was online. I was in my bedroom at home. You can, like, there's so many opportunities for that. It's just kind of making the most of those opportunities.
Right. And I will say that I was, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but truly, not only was Jessie like really outgoing and personable and hilarious, but she also was just so dedicated to making an impact on people's lives. And at an early age was doing it very meaningfully and very competently. And she is a doer. She says she's going to do something, she does it. And, there's so much that she's doing behind the scenes that people don't even know of. And it was just like really impressive to me. And I was just like really inspired. It's like, if I can help the superstar get from where she is now to where she wants to be, like I am all in. So
That's so sweet.
That's
it's
so
the truth.
incredible to hear,
It's the truth.
Denise.
It's the truth. She's special. She's very special.
It's heartwarming. Denise, what does it mean to you to be able to help someone early in your career? I know you mentioned that it's giving back is so important to you. What does this mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's my mission professionally is to, personally is a helper, right? But professionally, I really want to be helping people whose lives have been impacted by OCD, either because they're living with OCD or family or loved ones. And, again, I think that we do not have enough people doing it. And I think that we've also found that when we get people early on in their career and we can mentor them and bring them in from the very beginning, they're like really solid clinically and champions of what we're trying to do. And I mean, Jessie was in the IOCDF before she even went to grad school. So she's been doing this work for a long time. So I just think like this is the way, and then, maybe that'll be inspiring Jessie to do that, the next generation. So
100%.
Right. So it's just part of the mission of helping. It's like not just as a treater, I'm, wanting to be a very good clinician, but as I'm also wanting to be bringing in very good clinicians into the field too. And I mean, like it was a no-brainer. So
it also makes me then feel more connected to the IOCDF and to the IOCDF's mission and wanting to, I know I've asked Denise many questions, like we'll talk about my cases, but then we'll also talk about like, hey, what do you think about this for the young adult SIG? Or what do you think about this? And it's been really helpful.
It's incredible. All right, last question before we wrap up. I just wanted to ask you both if there's anything you didn't mention that you want to add or anything I haven't asked that you think is important to point out.
I think I maybe not a new thing, but just to put an exclamation point after this idea that just reach out, right? I mean, I think that this entire group of professionals is really dedicated and really passionate. I mean, most of us are doing trainings. We're running BTTIs. We have trainings through our clinics. Like we really are dedicated to bringing up the next generation. And so if you really are looking to get mentorship, I mean, just take that first step.
I should have gone first because I wanted to say the same thing. Exclamation point on Denise's exclamation point.
Right.
That not only reaching out to like clinicians, but also if people are wanting to get involved in some special interest groups, whatever it may be, as you said, I was involved. I didn't have any accolades to my name. I had OCD and I wanted to help other people with OCD. And this community is so supportive in that they can make that happen. You just have to have the passion and willingness, and then it all goes from there.
Right, because that's actually a really good point. It's not just mentorship for budding clinicians. It's mentorship for people who want to advocate, who want to just get involved, who want to give back. So, you know, I know we're talking about mentorship here, but the IOCDF just really has a place for almost everybody. And there's mentorship built into the entire organization, which we're really proud of.
Amazing. Well, thank you both so much for taking the time to share your experience and for giving back to this community in such meaningful ways.